All right. Hey, everyone, and welcome to the HeatSpeaker, a weekly wrap up on the world of games and games culture from theheatseeker.com. I'm your host, Scott Johnson, and with me, as always, Jeff. Jeff, how the hell are you doing?
I'm doing great, Scott. How are you on this fine Saturday?
I'm doing great, Jeff. I am drinking a beer which I normally would not have anything to do with because I don't really like IPAs, but this
hmm
beer has images reminiscent of Space Invaders. It's called Hoptronics, and I am a
Hey,
sucker
it's
for
good
video game
packaging.
things. Yeah. So enjoying my
Enjoying
Saturday.
your Hoptronics. I have an empty water bottle. I'm woefully
You know what? You're
unprepared.
you're responsible, and we need one of those people in this
You know,
podcast.
someone's gotta. If I can hydrate you by proxy, I think that's the goal here.
I don't know if I like how that sounds, but I'm willing to accept it.
Okay, good, good.
Cool. Jeff, have you been playing any video games? And if so,
No,
what
man,
are they?
I hate
Okay,
I hate
wow.
video games so much, dog. No, I've been playing several games.
Okay.
Two games on my phone and just more Overwatch. I feel like did we had a chance to talk about Orisa on the show yet? I guess we haven't because she just came out.
Not in depth. So
Um, so I had a chance to play a little bit with the new hero in Overwatch as she went live on Tuesday. Uh, she's a tanky character. Have you played any Overwatch? Are you familiar with
not
it
at all.
really?
But maybe it's time
All right.
now that you've been playing so much, and I'm sitting here going, "What the fuck do I do with my life?" Maybe I should
Yeah.
jump into Overwatch at this point.
It it's a nice. It feels like a nice filler like game between games. You know, it's something you can always return to. Whenever I've gone back to it, I'm like, oh wow, yeah, this game's great. Every time I go back, I'm like surprised.
And it's not a
Uh,
game where you feel like players jump ahead skill wise,
um, no, I think you're gonna get rusty when you're in between playing, but like
Mhm.
when you come back, like it's not like the meta changes so dramatically in terms of like what works and what doesn't.
Yeah.
So you're always kind of on that same curve. I mean, obviously people are getting better all the time, but if you're not playing in ranked mode, if you're just playing quick play, it's been pretty reasonable. But Orisa is a walking tank, kind of. She's a tiny Metal Gear. She's a
Hmm.
centaur-shaped Metal Gear with
Okay,
a
I'm into that.
face, uh, and she has a long-range machine gun, and she can also deploy a shield. Uh, so Reinhardt is a character that has a barrier, a large shield that he can deploy in front of him to defend characters that are kind of behind.
Right.
And this is kind of a version of that where it's a like a grenade. Like she can throw it at a distance and place it. You know, the
Right.
disadvantage being that it's static until your cooldown ends, so you can throw a new one.
Yeah.
Uh, but that gives you a lot more mobility and options than you would usually have as like an anchor tank like Reinhardt, where it's kind of like I'm heading towards the objective and everybody group up on me because I've
Yeah.
got this shield. It lets you kind of still play some of the more dynamic and aggressive gameplay styles in Overwatch without like having to just stand in one place. I don't know. She's been pretty fun.
So last week you were worried that you were going to join matches after this rollout, that you were going to join matches and everybody's going to want to be her or whatever, and like it's just going to throw off balance and stuff.
You
How,
know,
how has that gone?
honestly, I have been playing mostly quick play, right?
Mm-hmm.
So uh, I haven't been going into like the all pick where you can kind of screw around in arcade, but it's been funny. I don't think there's ever been, even in a chat situation, someone asking to play her.
Yeah.
Uh, it's just that someone will pick her and everybody else kind of understands that that's fine. No one's ever complaining. Like I got to play her a few times, and then there was a time where I had selected her and then somebody was kind of hanging on the select screen, so I changed character and he grabbed her immediately. I was like, okay, cool, understood.
Yeah.
There's kind of this weird you know how it is with multiplayer games, like there's like a weird unspoken kind of understood language sometimes.
Right. Well, that's cool. So enjoying the character, it's changing things up
Yeah,
a little
yeah.
bit.
It's cool because I like playing support characters and tanky characters, and I've always liked Reinhardt in the way that, like, it's just about me positioning myself between the enemies and the rest of my team. And this is a different flavor of that, so it's cool.
Do you get into the sort of narrative stuff around the game? Is there stuff to accompany this character coming in?
There is. I'll be honest with you and say I don't know too much of the specifics. I think
Okay.
she, my understanding is Arissa's a rebuilt robot who is the next generation of. Have you seen Bastion, the
Mm-hmm.
robot, like the
Yeah.
turret?
He
So
fucks.
this is
Yeah.
like, yeah, Bastion. He does. I don't make no mistake. But this character is built from parts of like the next generation of those, I guess.
Okay.
And a little girl built Orisa. So I don't know.
Interesting.
It's like classic kind of Pixar-y, like, oh, this young inventor, repurposed this robot into a friendly robot
Yeah.
hero, a robot master, a Mega Man.
Well, I can very quickly get my video game stuff out of the way, which is that I attempted to start the review process for Mass Effect Andromeda on PC. Unfortunately, at the second cutscene, the game forces my computer to restart. So
Just out of nowhere. It's not like a crash and then restart.
Yep.
It's
And I've posted on the EA forums, gone through a couple of attempted fixes, can't do it. Apparently, when I try to unenable anti-aliasing, it forces my computer to crash as well. So that's just a weird thing.
wow. So you can't like. So what are the settings like? Are you just on like MSA or like is it?
Well, for
like,
anti-aliasing, it's just on or off. And I've even tried going to the NVIDIA control panel and disabling it from
and
there.
Manually going in. Yeah,
still
I hate
doesn't
that
work.
I hate that there's 2 layers of video card settings because it's very confusing. I mean, okay, it's not super. I'm not an idiot, but like, I don't think PC gaming should be that hard. Like, I mean, I understand it's way easier now than it was, but the fact that you're having these issues where this game's just hard crashing on you and restarting your computer, you're not even getting to send like the telemetry.
And the weird thing is, both Mass Effect and the NVIDIA GeForce Experience both have sort of recommended settings. And
exactly.
At both of their recommended settings, this still happens. So it's like they're trying to make it easier by like, hey, this is what we think you need. But even at those settings, it's still
but when those settings crash your computer, there's a problem. But hopefully they resolve this quickly. I mean, games,
so the other thing I found out during this process is that Origin has a 24-hour refund policy and then a 72-hour if it's due to technical issues. We are 72 hours past when that game came out, so I went ahead and started the refund process because I didn't want to get I didn't want to keep dealing with this for weeks.
No, for sure.
If it ever did get resolved, it would be past the point where it's relevant to our website. So
and if your primary interest in Mass Effect was to review it for HeatSpeaker and you don't really want to play that game, there's not really a point in keeping that.
I mean, I do. I went out and watched some coverage of it, and it actually made me want to play it more. I mean, I saw some more of the narrative stuff that I wasn't familiar with. The idea that you're a Pathfinder, you're out sort of making planets inhabitable for humans. That was very interesting to me. But I might not ever get to see that. And from some of the stuff that I'm seeing, maybe that's not a bad thing.
There are a lot of video games out right now, Scott, and spending time on mediocre ones is a decision that you get to make. It's the luxury to choose that we have.
I mean, to that end, I don't want to be, but I also don't want to be the website that only reviews games when they're good, because then what's the point of the review?
Certainly, why are you looking at anything if it's you should be attacking not attacking, but I mean approaching the games that are divisive and trying to throw your hat in there.
Exactly.
That's why people love the site, Scott.
People are telling me all the time, "Hey, I like it when you attack things."
Hey, I love when you attack things, and you're like, okay, please stay away from me.
Yeah. So unfortunately, no Mass Effect at the moment. And then I spend the rest of my time just wishing I was playing more tabletop X-Wing.
Are you finding you're not getting sick of that, huh? I guess you're not playing very often.
That's the thing is like because the store I play it only does once a week, and then I have been getting a group together to stream another day, so we do Tuesdays and Wednesdays now. It's it's not you don't get that fix. You play 1 or 2 games because they're about an hour a piece. So and then you just spend the rest of the time like thinking about like,
oh, how can I improve this? I imagine Warhammer's also that way, right? Like any tabletop game is going to be like it's going to be like, oh, I played for 2 hours and now the rest of the week I'm going to be like thinking about every moment that I could have gone, changed things. I feel like that would drive me crazy, but probably in a good way. I don't know.
It is driving me insane. It's destroying my marriage. Amanda comes home and she's like, "Hey, you want to go out?" And I'm like, "What if you played Han Solo and 2 Snapshot A-Wings, and then I played Scum?" She's like, "We could literally do anything else." But
anything.
No,
Scott,
she's
literally
been
anything.
great, and I tried to not
Yeah.
force her to do that, but
But
we're getting into favor territory.
You're thirsty to play more X-Wing. You know,
Yes.
you can't. You need somebody to play with.
Yes, and I need to stop talking about it here. So,
Let's move on. Bethesda Pinball. Just briefly, I want to talk about the Zen Pinball from Zen Studios makes Zen Pinball / Pinball FX.
okay.
I don't know if you've played any of these. They've done all these licensed pinball tables. A lot of.
Is this separate from Pinball FX, or is this the same thing?
So it kind of is the same, and it's the same platform, but on the mobile devices they break it out in a weird way.
Okay.
Like on the PC and on the consoles, you can purchase table packs and bring them into Zen Pinball or Pinball FX.
Yeah.
And on the phone, they usually package each of those themed things as a separate app. So I've been playing Bethesda Pinball, which is one of their newest sets of tables. And it's interesting because previously on the phones, even though they were separately deployed as different apps,
Right.
each table pack was still a premium purchase. You'd spend $5 or you spend a couple dollars to buy a table. You know, I have Marvel Pinball, and I bought the Blade table because it's my obsession to be the #1 Blade player in the world. I don't know why.
Yep. Understandable.
Blade, everybody loves Blade. Wesley Snipes, except it's not even him.
Oh. This is straight up.
This is not based on the
Blade.
movie. This is based on the comic book. It's amazing.
Okay.
But beside the point, Bethesda Pinball. I've been playing Doom Pinball table by the same people. It is really cool.
New Doom or old Doom or what?
It's new Doom.
Okay.
Yeah. It's got, I don't know if it's I know there are audio clips from the game, and then there are other things that get said that are pinball specific,
Right.
and I can't tell who is reprising their role or if they just get sound alikes for everybody, because it's like the Hayden and the kind of robot lady who tells you demons are about. It's been really interesting. It's got some cool mechanics in it where you're shooting the orbits, and you shoot them a certain amount of time, and then there's like an armor pickup that'll appear on the field.
Right.
There are little like pop-up demons that you're shooting, and like the table goes into lockdown, and you have to do a certain amount of thing to.
Right.
I don't know. It has enough of the kind of Doom notes that I've been having a lot of fun with it. But this is not a premium purchase in the way the other ones were. I have been able to start playing this table for free because it's now packaged in a free-to-play wrapper where you're playing 3-minute or 3 to 5 minute sessions of like competitive score attack against other people for free and earning coins that you could spend to play a single player. But you can go in and just buy the tables outright and like get everything for free.
How are the controls on mobile?
When you're talking about pinball, it's 2 flippers, right?
Yeah.
Like so
it's just
you're
two
really
on-screen
just
buttons.
touch. No, it's just either side of the screen. They bisect it invisibly, so
Nice.
you can kind of position your fingers your thumbs wherever you want to kind of play. And I've been enjoying pinball on my phone a lot, which is kind of weird. You wouldn't think that it would translate, but with Zen Studios and the way they do pinball, it's not like the Pinball Arcade, which is more of a physics-driven simulation.
Right.
There's a lot more whimsical, kind of simulated or approximated physics and stuff. Do
you know if that's for iOS and Android?
I believe it is on both. Yeah.
Okay, I might have to try that.
These days, I presume that if it's on Android, it's probably on iOS.
Yeah, you'd think. So as someone who I don't have a big familiarity with pinball, but I did play a decent amount of Sonic Spinball a few months ago.
Oh, hell yeah. How was that?
That made me, fantastic. I actually bought it. So that made me appreciate pinball a little bit more. And so I went to a gaming bar a week or two ago. And
played some
tried my
tables?
hand at some actual pinball, some
What?
Elvira, some Indiana Jones,
so they had like
some
Scared
of
Stiff or Monster Mash.
some
or what
of
table?
Alec Baldwin's The Shadow.
I'm sorry, the Shadow pinball table.
The
I think
Shadow
I've seen
pinball
that
table.
one
It has
time.
a gun for a launcher. So I was terrible. I was very awful. None of the lessons that I learned from Sonic Spinball came through translated. But I do actually want to go and watch The Shadow. So it did something.
Hey, you know what? Mission accomplished.
Yeah,
That marketing vehicle still serving its use all these years later.
it worked. Oh, except now I'm seeing that the director is the same director as Resident Evil Extinction, so Maybe.
So
Ooh,
never
but also
mind.
Teen Wolf and Highlander. So,
Here's the thing. Here's the
quite
thing.
contentious.
Yeah, it's people. Sometimes people's careers they do this.
Uh-huh.
So like
Okay.
that was said maybe at this time when
Yeah.
things were still.
Yeah. Good
That's
point.
what I'll say about that. Uh, Super Mario Run. It came out for Android centuries after it came
My
out for
God,
the
I've forgotten
iOS.
about that game.
Oh yeah, there's good reason. It's middling.
Okay.
It's not great. It's
Actually,
not
didn't they just
terrible.
update that so you could play as a Yoshi?
I guess maybe. I think with the
Not that
time
would
with
matter,
the
maybe for you guys.
I listen. I'll play as a Yoshi to hear Yoshi sounds.
Uh huh.
Like Yoshi's an adorable character, and I love him very much.
Got it.
But Super Mario Run is still a $10 game with not a huge amount of content. And I don't know how as I've been playing it, I think it's well made, but I don't know how I feel about the one like the mechanics of making Mario jump with a touch screen. There's something weird about it. I don't know. I'm used to
Wait,
Mario
so
being such a
you're not okay with jumping with the press of a screen, but you are with pinball, just pressing anything to.
I'll say this. I'll say this about the Mario thing. I think Mario, for me personally, it's because it's always been on controllers. Like there is a very specific, tangible feeling I associate with Mario. Think about it. Mario's two buttons. It's always been basically two buttons. Like the idea of the muscle memory you get from, oh, I'm holding the run button and then I'm pressing the jump button. It just seems weird to engage with Mario and not feel that. I know that sounds really weird, but
Well, especially in the context of versus pinball being not tangible.
yeah, but I don't have like a strong memory of playing
Yeah,
pinball.
me
You know
either.
what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like I think
exactly.
it's the history there.
Yeah.
But it seems like a fine game. I don't understand why it took them like 4 months. I guess Apple probably paid for exclusivity or something, but that really tanked them on Android. I feel like there's no chance for that game to really like hit the top charts.
Yeah, I mean, I in my mind, I would have just assumed like, oh, you get an initial splash when you come out on one platform, and then if you can get away from that enough, you get to debut again, and you get to have your cake and eat it too. But it doesn't sound like that's happening here. Like I honestly didn't even know it came out on Android until you told me.
Yeah, and that's what I feel like there's
it's not the
well, let's
second
see.
coming
Oh,
that I would
well,
have thought.
I guess it is at the top of free right now. So
All right.
never
Well,
mind.
how does it feel
Maybe
to be so long all
Mario.
the time?
Maybe I'm an idiot.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, I know. I am an idiot. Let's move on.
All right, this just in. I'm gonna go ahead.
Breaking news.
So let's move on into news, Jeff. Turns out this week we found out that you're an idiot.
Oh yeah.
I could have transitioned to that.
I feel like I walked into that one like I was gonna. Wow, nice spelling, bro.
Oh my God.
IDIIOT. Just for the record, I want people to know.
There is no document, some secret document where we keep everything in line.
Also, where's your apostrophe and E on that your, dog? Come on.
As far as the world knows, you're making all of this up.
It's true. I could be.
You're trying to.
I'm an editor. It's in my brain.
Anyway, so what actually did happen in the world of
So
video games?
I don't really know if there's anything super breaking that has happened.
Nah.
The one small thing that happened, I believe, just yesterday, the Battle.net launcher, Battle.net has been rebranded. They said they were going to do it.
Yep.
And they just kind of very quietly flipped the switch, and now it's the Blizzard launcher, and you're logging into Blizzard instead of Battle.net. And I don't have a lot of love for Battle.net.
Yeah.
But such a fucking cool name, dude. Like, to just be like, to go, no, we gotta unify the brand and have it be Blizzard. Like, okay, listen, we know it's Blizzard. Like, let me have Battle.net. Like, that's a cool name. It's very 90s. Like, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, I had no reverence for it. I didn't play any of the Blizzard games. So
no StarCraft, no Warcraft, none of that.
Nope. No Diablo.
When did you get in? Wait, when did you get into RTS? Was it Command and Conquer?
Command and Conquer, Tiberian Sun.
Whoa, Tiberian Sun. You didn't even play Red Alert.
Nope. I watched the reason I played Command and Conquer is because I saw somebody playing Red Alert 2, and I was like, "What are these Tesla towers, man? This looks awesome."
Yeah, one of my first and strongest gaming memories is seeing my buddy's older brother playing Red Alert 2.
Yeah.
And just like going, whoa, like this is games can do this. Like I
Yeah,
had never seen a strategy game, so like the
exactly.
idea of like, oh, cool, like I can control this entire army. That's awesome.
And I remember
Yeah.
buying at like Sam's Club, buying like the Tiberian Sun collection, and it came with
Mhm.
the original Command and Conquer, and I gave it away. I just played Tiberian Sun for some
Oh,
reason.
ridiculous.
Yeah, so mistakes
So
were
yeah,
made.
BattleNet, it's gone. What else? Other than the fact that I'm an idiot and that BattleNet is no longer called
I think
BattleNet.
those are the two biggest stories
All right.
of this week, as far as I can tell.
Anything else you want to talk about, Scott? Anything
Well,
else in video games you
instead
want to
of with the
touch
lack
upon?
of news theme, let's move on to things that I am wondering about but have no idea where they're at. Where's Hellblade? And also, when did Hellblade get a subtitle?
About 2 months ago, 3 months ago,
Jesus, I
and
missed that.
it was a very small. Like I think they.
Senua's
It
sacrifice.
almost seems. It almost seems like they did it just to be like, "Hey, what's up, guys? Still working on Hellblade. Okay, bye." Like, like just kind of wanted to peek out into a headline,
Do you
and let
understand,
people
like,
know.
I mean, maybe you have a better understanding of this, why companies think that a subtitle gives them better, what marketing reason is that? Is that because we're going to eventually
It could
make
be. It could be.
sequels?
It could be SEO. Like Hellblade could be. There could be other things called the Hellblade
Hmm.
units, characters. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
it's not so maybe just to improve their visibility on the internet. That'd be my first guess.
Because when I look at games like this, and especially Horizon Zero Dawn, and I'm like, I feel like that single word title is so much more powerful, and then you
Yeah,
just make
but
these like confusing,
well,
strange
again,
subtitles.
if your game was called Horizon, like good luck ever getting anybody to find that thing organically
Hmm.
because everything is called Horizon. Uh, yeah, I don't know.
But I mean, in both of those cases, I don't think, for me, the end user, I don't think it gives me any. It doesn't help me at all. It doesn't make me think
Oh,
that
of
the
course
product's
not. But it's not
any.
for you. It's not for you though. Like it's designed to get it in front of eyeballs. Like it's unfortunately probably a business move
Yeah.
unless you have someone who's like again, if David Cage is like, my game's called Detroit, and then later he's like, my game's called Detroit, Become Human, and
Uh,
it's like David Cage.
Thanks
I
for
know
that.
that
Actually
that's
helps
from your
make my
heart,
point even more. Detroit was a
yeah.
fucking cool name.
And then Detroit Become Human
And even
because
even in that instance where you're like, what the fuck is that game? I feel like the mystery actually helps in that
yeah,
instance.
I remember I had heard rumblings about the game being called Detroit, and I remember being really like, I I hope that's not a code name. Like I was very pleased that it was even the title of the game because I was like, that's such a cool like
Yeah,
especially being from like that
I was gonna
area. I'm like,
say, yeah.
hell yeah, somebody
You
somebody
fucking
repping Detroit
Michigan
in the future.
fanboys over here.
Yeah, bro,
You know
get on
all
my
of Michigan
level.
loves Detroit.
Michigan loves him. Michigan
Yep.
hates him. Uh,
Kid Rock's
find out
hometown.
one weird trick to subtitle your game.
So anyway,
Speaking of one word titles,
uh-huh.
Ruiner. That game looks great. I just
What the
wanted to
fuck
touch
is
on that.
Ruiner?
Are you serious right now?
I am so
It's
serious.
an isometric cyberpunk Hotline Miami, where the premise is that
Okay.
there's an AI like manipulating you, and you're trying to rescue your brother. I had thought it was just a level-based action game, and it seems like it primarily is that. But now certain previews are pointing out that there are in between levels that are almost hub-like, where you could have like there's a shop to go to and like people to talk to and whatnot.
Okay.
So that's kind of cool. A little bit more story element, but yeah, primarily about running around, cutting people with a blade and shooting them.
Well, Jeff, I mean, I guess the whole point was, do you know where Hellblade is? I don't see a release date. I think it
I
just
don't.
entered alpha, maybe.
I'm telling you right now, I feel like that game, its entire pitch from the beginning has been, oh, we're going to tell an incredibly affecting emotional story with beautiful performance capture, and like this is going to be a story about mental illness, and it's going to touch on all these themes. You got to keep in mind, like Hellblade, there's some stuff going on with that game,
Yeah.
and they have to be very careful about how they deploy that. So I imagine they're just taking their time because like Hellblade isn't the kind of game that's going to come out and and do insane numbers. You know,
Right.
like it's a niche title anyway. So I think they're probably just being cautious about it. I don't know. Maybe that's too optimistic. Maybe things are a total disaster. But I don't know. I'm still looking forward to it. I have no. I'm looking forward to Crackdown as well. I'm looking forward to all these games that like have totally disappeared. Maybe we'll see some Hellblade at the Microsoft Scorpio event that they said that you'd be having before E3. So in the next 2 months, I imagine we'll know a little bit more about Hellblade because that seems like a good showpiece for graphics.
For sure. Also, if you come into my chat and you tell me to say your name, that's a good way for me to never want to say your name. Now I know you're in game.
Oh wow!
The other one word title that I am interested where the fuck it is Cuphead. Jeff, will we see that at a Microsoft press conference?
I don't think we're going to see any more promotional anything for Cuphead until it is almost ready to come out because it had a couple rounds of press and it seems like people reacted poorly to the fact that it's primarily a big boss rush game. It's a difficult as hell boss rush game. It's beautiful, but from what I hear, it seems like they're taking it back and kind of creating platforming levels and kind of creating a little bit more content. So that game will come out in time. It's an indie title. That art cannot be easy to make.
Oh, absolutely.
Like,
and
holy
I think the last time we saw it, like you said, the impression was they went back and did a lot of retooling, big focus on co-op, on playing that game with other people. And then like they added an overworld, and I think it just got way bigger and more complex. So I'm very much excited for that game.
Hey, me too, man.
Xbox only,
especially
forever.
with co-op. Well, PC. I'm sure it'll come out on games for Windows 10 or whatever they're calling it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love to play some co-op Cuphead and get extremely frustrated on a stream with you. That'd be great.
That reminds me. I think Bloody Trapland 2 just came out. Have you ever played the Bloody Trapland series?
Oh, I am familiar with Bloody Trapland. That's the platform, the hyper-violent platformer thing where it's like
exactly.
It's kind of like a Meat Boy style.
Exactly, it's very much co-op Meat Boy. It's a very brutal platformer.
Yeah, you played that with on Couch of Contention, or
with Amanda and Chris. Like. So maybe we'll get that one and
get that and use that to kick off season 2.
Oh God, now we're in seasons. Okay.
I guess season 3.
Can you count?
Season B, season 1A.
Please stop. I will figure out how to organize these.
yeah. Let's do it.
Okay.
Let me know.
Well, Jeff, any other games that you haven't heard from in a long time that you're curious about?
Games that I'm excited about that I haven't heard about.
I could have posited this question a long time ago before we streamed.
Cyberpunk.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So that's a game that obviously like sort of elephant in the room style. Like now that we've moved past Witcher 3 in such a big way, like the DLC has all come out, and it seems like they have now shifted over to Cyberpunk. I think we're not hearing from them because we're going to see something at E3, hopefully. So I'm really excited about that. Like, I think The Witcher is a cool game. I think it's really well made. Would I like it a lot better if there were cyborgs in it? Yes. Yeah. The answer is yes. And I want to see how they handle gunplay. Like, I want to see if like they can make a competent third-person shooter.
Yeah, that
in the
is
same
very
way
different from what they've done. Yeah. Sticking in that sci-fi vein, have we even heard what Amy Hennig's Star Wars project is? What it's going to be titled?
Nope.
That was completely separate from 1313, right? That was
we've seen a few, frames of previs, and we've seen, there was that sizzle reel that EA did at their thing last year at E3, where it was just like, here's shots of guys at Respawn pretending to hit each other with lightsabers, and then like,
wait, that's a Respawn joint?
There's multiple Star Wars games in development. There's a Respawn game coming, and there is, I guess. Is it Visceral? Who is it? I guess Visceral Games, where Hennig is at, or is it a new studio? Anyway, Amy Hennig is making whatever the Star Wars Uncharted will be, and Respawn's probably
very
going to make
reductive. But
again,
probably right.
Yeah, like I'm not trying to say Uncharted like it'll be templatized. I'm saying as the primary like creative vision around that series originally, like. Right. you got to expect like she'll do something structurally similar. I mean, it's probably why they wanted her on it.
Yeah.
But the Respawn game I'm interested in because I wonder if it'll be like, is that like a new Jedi Knight style? Like, is that like, are they making a narrative first person shooter that has multiplayer elements? Are they making a multiplayer first person shooter where you can hit people with lightsabers? Like, that'd be fun. I don't know. Like, maybe a third person. It could be anything, but we will hear more about that stuff at E3.
Yeah, I don't want to say that like, hey, these are multiplayer guys and this is what they make.
But it seems again, just like with Amy Hennig, it seems like a natural fit. Like you bring those people in to like, hey, Respawn.
Yeah, you approach that studio for a specific thing.
Yeah, it's like, remember when you made
But
Titanfall,
I mean, you also know of them
Titanfall
as
2?
the Company of Heroes guys, so I mean, you may bring them in for that narrative first-person Call of Duty 1, 2, 4, whatever.
Yeah. Did you say Company of Heroes?
You're right. Call of Duty. I've got RTS on the mind.
Yeah, no, I'm feeling you because as soon as you said that, I was like, yeah, dude, Company of Heroes, and I kind of like
let's get a new Galactic Battlegrounds or whatever. What was the Star Wars RTS?
Dude, there were multiple Star Wars RTSs. I don't know. Was it Galactic Battlegrounds?
I think that might be a free-to-play thing. Empire at War is the one I'm thinking. Galactic Battlegrounds was an RTS.
Yeah,
but Empire at War is probably the better one.
Yeah. Let's get more Star Wars RTS. Honestly, now that I say all this stuff out loud, do we have to have some more Star Wars? Can we just...
Jeff, as someone who spends their night...
I know that. I know you're going to get on me because you love X-Wing so much.
I know, but even at that point, like, even when I'm playing X-Wing, I'm like, these motherfuckers talk about Star Wars too much. Like, let's have a drink, let's play X-Wing, but let's talk about other things.
Let's talk about other things.
Don't come to me with your fucking Snoke theories, okay? I don't care about that.
You're like, I do not give a shit about what Disney is doing to ensure that they have money for the next 100 years.
I care, but I'm not going to spend years thinking about it. Like, I'm cool
Guess what?
Compartmentalizing that and then readdressing that later.
Hey, just a hot pro tip for all those people. Star Wars will eventually come out, and you'll eventually see it. Like,
that said,
maybe
I might have taken a trip this past couple of days where we listened to the audiobook Star Wars Aftermath, and then I may also be reading...
Is that the tie-in one? That's the tie-in one, right?
That's between Jedi and Force Awakens.
That's cool.
And I may also be reading an old Star Wars book about the bounty hunters because it makes me appreciate the pilots of my X-Wing fleet. So,
hey,
said, let's not talk about Star Wars all the time, Jeff.
Okay, sorry. Scott, I won't. I promise.
I want to think about other things, Jeff, okay?
I want to... Listen, you can think about whatever you want for now until we get the chips and then they start to control what we think. But until that time comes, you still have full control of your brain, bro.
And on that note, I'm going to take full control of this podcast and say...
shut this shit down.
We are at an end. Jeff, I'm going to maybe go download Overwatch and maybe we'll play eventually.
Yeah, man. Check out that Overwatch. It's a fun game. I think you'll like it.
I'm last to the party. Okay. Well, thanks for joining me, Jeff. Where on the internet can people find you?
People can seek me out at twitter.com/Jeff_Soulier or at twitch.tv/RPJeff, which is usually hosted here on this fine Twitch channel.
Excellent. Jeff, speaking of this Twitch channel, that is twitch.tv/theheatseeker, DOTCOM, that's theheatseeker.com. Also, go to theheatseeker.com. That's the website.
Go read stuff. Go watch videos. Do it.
At the Tweetseekers, our Twitter, so follow that. Thanks, everybody, for joining us for another fine edition of the Heat Speaker. Until next time. See you later.